Be careful. The house where you are staying is dangerous. You are going to hear more than simply a story, so pay close attention, my little child. It is a cautionary tale wrapped in reality. Avoid blinking. Don't scroll for heaven to open your eyes at this very time. This message was sent to you for a reason, and your spirit already feels its weight. There's more to your house than meets the eye. There are murmurs in the air, and there are more than just shadows hidden around every corner. The truth is waiting, pressing against the silence, even if you may believe you are protected. Remain here. Don't move, since every word is linked to your safety. Layers of what has been concealed will be exposed, and as you continue to listen, you will recognize the indicators that have always existed but gone ignored. Heaven says you might save more than you think if you exercise caution tonight. The occasional sound of footfall, the flickering of lights when no one presses the switch, and the unexpected chill that quickens your heartbeat are all not coincidences. They are tiny signals from the invisible, cautions. You have to stop ignoring them. Your home's walls are now more than just brick and paint. They have a secret. A threat that hides in plain sight while seeming to be silent, a presence that doesn't want you to know it's there. You won't believe how near the truth is. Every room has energy that has been absorbed, and certain areas are heavier than others. This is the location if you have experienced anxiety upon entering a particular room, if your skin tingles abruptly, or if your chest feels constricted. Believe what your body has been trying to tell you. Something or someone is not pleased with your light. The uneasiness in your spirit is the warning sign, even though it tries to pass for normal. That alarm is louder than ever tonight. Heaven understands that your life is important, which is why you were selected to hear this warning, my child. Your security is important. You cannot be overpowered by the invisible forces around you, but you must not act irresponsibly. Remain awake. Remain vigilant. Hold on to me until the very end. This threat isn't always audible. It waits for you to down your guard, thriving in stillness. You have to be careful tonight because of this. You can't ignore the weird sensation you've been avoiding. Never undervalue the influence of intuition. Everything in your home is talking to you, including the whisper in your chest, the sudden urge to look behind you, and the way some items appear to be missing. Heaven has been giving you clues, but now it's yelling, open your eyes. If you've observed an increase in tension among the people living in your home, if talks seem more weighted, or if secrets seem to hang in the air like smoke, that's all part of the storm. The risk is not just bodily. It is spiritual, emotional, and concealed under people's masks. You are not to be alarmed by this message. It's supposed to wake you up. Because your weapon is awareness. Once you understand the reality of your own home, you won't be caught off guard. The words that follow will guide each cautious step like a lamp in a dark hallway, so, my little child, take a deep breath and steady yourself. Your home has taken on a rhythm and pattern that is not found in the natural world, and it has been pulsating louder all around you. You will respond to the summons to wakefulness that comes with every pulse tonight with more than just fear. You'll respond with solid, unambiguous action. Pay attention to the small sounds that were formerly seemingly insignificant but now have significance. They are breadcrumbs that will lead you to the source of the disruption. B. A drawer closes without a hand, a gentle thump at the edge of sleep, a far-off scrape that coincides with your heartbeat. You were trained to ignore these tiny alerts, but now they will teach you how to protect yourself. Use a candle or lamp to carefully navigate your rooms, letting the light reveal any hidden shadows. The energy flows in a certain way, favoring areas where stories have been abandoned. Look for things that seem older than they actually are, things that were brought in quietly, or things that were returned without a reason. The weight that unnerves your house is anchored by those items, and relinquishing them will release their grip. Avoid sleeping in the room that has been the source of the most anxiety this evening, and avoid leaving keys in convenient locations where they could be used to access things that ought to stay closed. Sitting with your back to the wall in a chair next to the entryway gives you a sense of ground, whereas sitting in the middle makes you exposed. Simple statements of presence and ownership should be shouted out loud, since your voice, when used purposefully, changes the mood. Keep those who are staying with you close by and make sure their lights are on. The concealed cunning that likes solitude is weakened by the collective presence. Because concentrated movement removes invisible clamps, share basic activities like clearing a shelf, folding a cloth, or washing a cup to keep hands occupied and eyes awake. Open windows and create a pathway for air to flow through the house when it seems stuffy. An ally that doesn't ask permission is fresh air. The danger frequently moves in human-shaped patterns, so don't be fooled by familiar faces that have just become colder. A grin that slips, a comment that lands poorly, a look that stays too long. Take note of little behavioral changes and silently note them in a notebook or on your phone. These small notes will create a map that you can navigate. You will be able to distinguish between the threat and the pretense when memory and reality align. One spot speaks to you through the flavor of the air and the way your skin tightens as soon as you walk in, where sound twists and lingers like smoke. Tonight, mark that location with a ring of light. A lamp was set on solid ground, a candle was carefully positioned in a circle, and a gentle bell was rang 3 times to indicate the border. Any false silence will be detected by the bell's vibration, which will indicate whether the area responds with resistance or stillness. Using a little cloth, wash your hands with the intention of removing a thread of whatever connects the house to the object that is trying to disturb you with each rub. Apply salt to windowsills and thresholds, then use a confident palm to sweep it inward. Salt is a statement that this place will not be taken without a battle, not a remedy. As you work, hum a simple song you know by heart. This can help your nervous system return from alert to steady state and create a rhythm of safety. You will discover an item that has been slightly relocated from its original location tonight. And when you do, don't discard it hastily. Rather, put it on a fresh cloth and take it outdoors when the dawn starts to separate the night from the sky. Place it on the ground and state unequivocally that it is no longer a part of this house and that you calmly take back what is rightfully yours. If you are unable to bring it out, wrap it in fresh cloth and store it in a box until daylight strengthens your hands enough to release it. Have faith in the tiny creatures that roam your house, your pets, the birds outside your window, or even the way a moth emerges from a corner. These are sincere motions that will indicate where your focus ought to be. Respect your pet's sudden refusal to enter a room and look into it carefully rather than arrogantly. Don't write off alarmed living things as eccentric. Rather, pay attention and follow. Simple life resists what weakens space, and the sight of living green will calm your heart. Keep a bowl of water with a sprig of something green next to the window. Breathe firmly across door thresholds as if blowing out a candle as you travel through your rooms with a soft cloth at midnight and again at first light. The threads that cling to corners and drapes will come loose when you breathe steadily and purposefully. Nothing that enables mystery to nest within should be labeled, and names should be removed from small spaces where mysteries lurk. Put new white pages in lieu of old notes, ripped papers, and forgotten lists, and put out your goals for this house: safety, rest, clarity, and honest living. Writing turns concern into a strategy, and your handwriting fixes intention in a way that cognition alone cannot. Avoid standing in the line of a light if it blinks in a way that makes your skin crawl. Rather, follow the path of the wiring and investigate the source of the flash. Because patterns lead to pattern identification, and the slightest detail might be the key that unlocks the greater truth, locate the source and note the time it occurs. Documenting eliminates mystique and leaves just proof. You have to call some people tonight because addressing the situation eliminates the odd force that feeds on secrecy, and connecting fosters resistance against isolation. When you tell people you trust what is going on, speak calmly and firmly. Your voice should be steady but not frenzied. Every call creates a human net around you that is more resilient than the cunning concealed by silence. Put a small bag filled with necessities, such as water, a lamp, a charged phone, salt, a clean cloth, and a folded white page with your intentions written on it, somewhere you can get it without using a lot of lighting. This bag is a pledge to yourself that, should the need arise, you will depart with dignity. Having a plan transforms fear and panic into deliberate actions. Sunlight is an honest healer and will reveal what has been concealed in shadow, so when dawn draws near, walk about the house and let it reach every nook and cranny. Open all the curtains and blinds, then take a step back and let the day serve as your witness, seeing which areas are illuminated and which are not. You can see where more in-depth attention is needed by looking at the areas that reject light. Don't try to push any furniture that suddenly feels too heavy to move. Rather, make a circle around it, talk soothingly about it, and wait till daylight brings you more resolution and the assistance of a second set of hands. Attempting to break time-bound anchors in a hurry will further confine you. When used with a steady breath, patience may be a powerful weapon. You'll find a folded note hidden away somewhere you didn't place it tonight, and when you read it, you'll notice the odd combination of familiarity and strangeness that indicates previous intent. Avoid letting the phrase make you feel guilty or confused. The written word belongs in the record, not in rumors, therefore save the note, take a picture of it, and put it in your evidence bag. Remain steadfast in your belief that your house is a living organism that reacts to your presence, and remember that courage is as easy as maintaining awareness for 1 minute longer than you think you can. The threat cannot lighten the weight of your consciousness every minute. Allow your unwavering presence to serve as the lighthouse that points the way to safety during the night. Speak out loud a brief affirmation in the last hours before bed, then repeat it silently every time you feel restless. Declare that you are the owner of this place, that you will not be relocated, and that the only things left are goodness and honest life. Let the words soak into the walls like seeds into soil while maintaining a gentle yet determined tone. Your heart is gently fortified by that recurrence. If you must temporarily leave the house, do so calmly and without drama. Take only what you need, and let someone you can trust know where you will be. When you leave with poise, you maintain your dignity and make room for change upon your return. The atmosphere of the house will change more quickly if you return with people during the day than if you return by yourself at night. This message occurred to you because the universe does not leave gifts of warning for people who are not prepared to act, and you are precisely the person who can bring light into a dark place. Over the next few days, you will receive minor confirmations, such as an overheard word, a recurring dream, or a recurring number. Accept these as course corrections. Your home will start to remember the life it was intended to have if you follow each repair with doable actions. When the time for release finally comes and the final burden has been lifted or neutralized, gather your loved ones and eat a simple meal in a single room with plenty of light and open air. Talk about simple human things, laugh quietly, and allow the everyday comfort of being together to bring the house back to normal. This final ceremony will start the healing process, but it won't make the past go away. You can choose to provide super thanks with contributions of up to $20 if you want to show your support even more. The next steps you take will change the rhythm of the house more than any frenetic movement could, so continue reading with steady breath, my little kid. Because accuracy reveals secrets more quickly than panic ever could, move slowly and purposefully, allowing each action to be intentional rather than hasty. Hold that intention like a lantern and let the weight of fear to transform into the weight of intention. Now that you are paying attention, observe how light falls differently as you move, and use this shifting light to map the spaces that require the greatest attention. Mark the area with a tiny bowl of salt or a plain stone where the shadows are deepest until morning gives stronger hands and clearer vision. These little symbols serve as attention anchors, reminding your body and mind where to go, rather than being superstitions. The house will test your stability tonight by providing minor distractions meant to divert your attention, and you will respond to those distractions with composed choreography. When a floorboard talks or a loose hinge complains, pay attention and record the moment it occurs in your quiet notebook. Patterns exist in repetition, and your record will show the pattern. Your measured list will turn into a truth-pointing map. There will be a voice in your head that wants you to explain things too much or apologize for being so watchful, but don't let it lead you into unnecessary uncertainty. Your clarity is not unkind, and your restraint is not impolite. They are the safety tools that will get everyone through. Like a tree whose roots draw deeply from the same river that feeds bravery, hold your ground. Stop and breathe 3 slow counts into your abdomen, visualizing the breath traveling outward like wind through curtains, if you suddenly feel heavy as you cross a boundary. For a while, keep the light on and let the glow to be an honest observer of what goes on beneath it. It is impossible to lie to the truth when one is present. You will find strength in the routine actions you perform, and there is value in simple, mild, and useful rituals. Sing a single line from a song you know by heart while sweeping the corners with a clean broom. Rhythm and movement work together to remove the invisible threads. Once you've finished sweeping, open a window to let the remaining dust and anxiety escape into the morning. Fresh water is a gentle ally that breaks the silence that clings to strange locations, so keep clear containers of water in 2 rooms and replace them at dawn and evening. As a symbol of rebirth and life, place a single green leaf in each bowl. Pass the bowls calmly. Despite its diminutive size, the act has a powerful impact on the room. When a light or appliance exhibits strange behavior, disconnect it and record the time before touching it. This eliminates any sense of mystery and substitutes cause and effect. Call a reliable person to verify the wiring during the day if it exhibits suspicious behavior. In the meanwhile, do not use the gadget. Protection that respects both the visible and the invisible is known as practical care. Keep a folded note in your pocket with the names of 2 individuals you can trust and the words you will say if you need them right away. This will prevent panic from taking over your thoughts. A shaking house can be stabilized by steady assistance, so pick people who react calmly rather than alarmingly. Verify that your phone is fully charged and that you can easily find its flashlight. Gather in the brightest room tonight, sit in a circle, share steady breath, and engage in gentle human conversation about unimportant things if you hear a sound that causes tension in the home. The weird spirit that thrives on drama and secrecy is defeated by talking about modest, everyday life, and the darkness is lessened by shared presence. Until the night eases, let the talk stay casual and persistent. When a guest shows up suddenly, welcome them at the door during the day if you can, and avoid being overly courteous. Request identification and communicate in a straightforward manner that does not encourage extended intimacy until daylight verifies their safety. Your cautious welcome is a sincere one that safeguards your life and dignity. Your heart will have times when it wants to run and times when it wants to freeze. You will learn to balance those extremes with a little steadying of breath and counting. Put your feet firmly on the ground and say out loud one thing about your house: that it provides a place to rest, that it is kind, and that it upholds the truth. Repeat the sentences slowly until they become a chord that you can grasp. According to Archangel Michael, true protection starts when you don't give the theatrics of fear any thought. Courage is quiet yet persistent. As you claim the house for a simple life, let this command guide your words and your actions as you tidy corners. Bring that unwavering bravery into the dawn like a tiny, never-dimming lamp. There will be items that seem to require a spectacular removal. If you come across one that makes you uncomfortable, carefully pack it in a box and carry it outdoors to the ground at daybreak without hurry or fanfare. If you decide to burn a piece of paper that feels heavy, do so in a well-lit area, with legal and safety authorization, and disperse the ash so that no one will be harmed. Safety and dignity must never be compromised by ritual. Your dreams will be more vivid tonight, and instead of being puzzles to be afraid of, they will bring imagery that feel like breadcrumbs to follow. Write even a single sentence from each dream in a little notepad by your bed. Over the course of the following nights, the repetition of the visuals will help to create a clearer picture. Your waking focus is reflected in your dream logs. Don't rush to undo the cautious actions you took when you get back to your regular schedule. Instead, incorporate them into new routines that respect ease and caution. Maintain living plants, check corners once a week, and keep the air flowing since consistent upkeep prevents the gradual infiltration of anything that could disturb a home. Routine is a kind guardian. If you have to face someone about anything you discovered, do so in daylight, with witnesses present, and present the facts in a calm, straightforward manner without making any accusations. Steer clear of inflammatory speeches and let your composure do the heavy lifting. Anger never has the same persuasive power as clarity combined with companionship. Sometimes it's best to go for a short while. If you do, pack the necessities, let someone know where you're going, and come back with others during the day. When you leave with purpose, your space maintains its dignity and makes a clean return possible. As a team, invite air, light, and a welcoming presence back in.